name's Mel Brown and welcome to my no frills, no edited podcast on knitting, crochet, sewing, weaving, everything. I am coming to you from North Yorkshire in the north of England. I'm an autistic woman and I live here with my husband, 2.5 daughters and 2 cats. One of them's away at uni, she's coming home on Sunday. So let's look at where are they now. What's happened to the projects you've already seen. Now, the sand art sweater, which is the freeform one, again, I haven't picked that up. And the Scrappy V, I haven't picked that up either, so I'm not going to talk to you about those. I'm going to talk to you about Lilla Bjorn. Project, pattern names and everything will be listed below. So, I've got a helicopter going over. So, Lilla Bjorn is a crochet pattern. And I am actually doing this as a make along with my friend Andrea. And last time I spoke to you, that you do a hexagon for the front and a hexagon for the back, and I was about 20 rounds into the second hexagon and she was ahead of me. Well, now I've almost finished and I'm ahead of her. So I'm using Shaky Swirls. It's all a bit squished up, but they're rainbow ones and I've got 2 of them. So let me show you where it's at. It's at this. It's dropped. Lots of ends still hanging off, but so it's all done. There's one side, there's the other. It's pretty reversible, and it's reversible inside and out as well. Oh god, that's the wrong way around. That's the right way around. So here's the neck, shoulders, armholes, and then the bottom, and then I'm just putting a few rounds of this, she calls it the hem, on the bottom. I'm going to do a few more rounds and I'm done. Oh, sorry, I was so tired. I got all ready for the podcast and I fell asleep, and then I woke up and I feel exhausted. So here it is. There's 2 little squares, 2 little triangles here that you sew in. I've actually managed to do one of these right side in and one of these wrong side in, so you wouldn't really notice. And the way that it's sewn together, I really like it. I don't normally sew things together, I like to crochet things together, but let's have a look where the joint is. It's in here. So that's from one side and that's from the other side. Oh, that's me running an ending, I think. So it's actually quite nice from either side. So if I run in my ends in a little bit neater, then I can actually wear it either way around. But I don't think it really matters. So there's a slip stitch around the neck to that looks a bit strange, just to kind of hold it from curling, I guess. So that is almost finished, and I could, if I just get a wriggle on, I might even finish that this afternoon. So you never know, I might be wearing it next time I speak to you. I'm loving it, I really am, and I've got a fair amount of yarn left. Strangely enough, I worked one of them from the outside and one of them from the inside. So you can see that I went from the purple through to the greeny yellow, but I went from the red through to the greeny yellow. So they were both on the greeny yellow when I stopped, and that's why both triangles are greeny yellow. So it's worked out really well. So I definitely needed 2, but this is what I've got left, so you could kind of wrap one in the other. Join wouldn't be very subtle, but there'll still be a full rainbow left, which is exciting. So that's almost finished. Really, really looking forward to wearing it. Oops. Right, so that's the first thing. I've actually got a list today because I'm a bit sleepy. Right, the other thing you've seen before is the vanilla latte socks. Now when I last showed you them, I was about halfway up the foot, and I'm not making great progress with these, to be honest, but I do have feet and heels. Now I was worried last time about where the heel would fall so that I could keep the stripes going and put a different colour in the heel than I did in the toe. As it happens, I measured it when I was just starting on a purple stripe and it was ready to go. So I just put the heel in with the purple. So what this is the yarn from Stripey Cat Yarns. Here they are. And it's custom dyed for me and my friend, oh, new nails. Me and my friend Sarah. So we chose a colour we both like, which is the purple, and then a colour that I really like, which is a teal, and then a colour that she really likes, which is the maroon. And we had this custom dye, or she had this custom dye for us. So we got the yarn that's that, and then we got minis of all the individual colours as well. So that's what we're using for the heels and toes. So that's done. I'm just now working my way up the leg. It's Vanilla Latte, the pattern. I'm only using the stitch pattern for it. I'm not actually using the sock pattern. I'm just using my usual sock recipe. And yeah, just working my way up the leg. Typically I'll go to roughly till the that comes down to somewhere between here and here. So sparkly. I love it. It's really lovely yarn. Really, really happy with that project, but it's my out of the house project. My daughter passed her driving test a couple of weeks ago, and I was sat in the test centre knitting with on this, waiting for her. And when she, the instructor came in and said, the examiner came in and said, Jess, she's passed. So I went out to give her a big hug, and I gave her a big hug, and my needle came out through this and stabbed her in the arm, and she bled all over her top. Knitting injury. What a brutal woman I am. Anyway, so that is, yeah, that's good. Right, so I think that's all of the that's all of the things that you've seen already. I was spinning when I last spoke to you every day and saying, oh, the Tour de Fleece has already started for me. I'm spinning every day. I'm loving it. And do you know what? I've hardly spun since. We went away for the weekend. I was telling you we were going to Birmingham for the weekend, and I had my pride nails and everything. And that was when Tour de Fleece actually started. So for those of you who don't spin, this is an event which is obviously to do with the Tour de France cycle race. Maybe not, obviously. I don't know. If you're in America, maybe you don't know these things. So the Tour de France is a cycle race. And it runs certain days every year in the summer, and the Tour de Fleece is an event where people spin every day that people are cycling. And I was going to take part in lots of spinning. It started while I was away in Birmingham, so I didn't get to start straight away, and I think I haven't spun more than once since then. I have no idea what happened to my spinning spojo. No idea what happened to it, but it disappeared. And yeah, I had loads of hand spun to show you last time. This time all I've got is this tiny skein, and this was actually me just trying to free up a bobbin. I had some of this on a bobbin. So I just freed up a bobbin by applying it. So that's going to go in my general hand spun thing. So yeah, don't know what happened, but nothing to show you in the weaving department. Spinning, right, let's tick that off. Okay, weaving, I have got something to show you. I showed you a finished weave last time, and I've got another finished one. This is a project that my friend Sarah, at the point that we started discussing this, she was a spinner but not a weaver. And I had bought her 3 months of the Spin City Bat subscription backlog thing. And she just didn't know what to do with them, because they're just art yarns. They just, what art bats, what do you do with them? How do you spin them? So I suggested to her that she just spins them any way she wants and then makes them into yarn, and I will weave them into a scarf for her. So that was the plan, and then somewhere along the line I persuaded her to buy her own loom. So then she started weaving herself. So what she did was she spun quite a lot of yarn, and then she split it in half, and we both did a project with her hand spun yarn for ourselves. Now, I've done lots of art weaves, a lot of art scarves. If you've watched this channel for a while, you'll see I went through a phase of making them all the time. but I haven't got one for me. None of them were for me. This one is for me. So I'm again going to show you the right side because there is a right and a wrong. So the warp is all, this is hand spun, that's a little bit of commercial sock yarn. Two different kinds of hand spun, both from Sarah. So the bulk of this is a bit of fibre, the bulk of this is hand spun. This is this amazing roving for knitting by Countess Ablaze. Absolutely amazing stuff. And then it's a great big block of hand spun. This is some of my art yarn, hand spun. Some more of the roving. Yeah, just kind of weird and wonderful. Lovely, lovely colours. And then on the end, more. So it's a lovely, lovely length as well. This is my favourite length for making things. It's the same length as the thing that I showed you last time, so if you saw that, it's no different. But this one's actually for me, so I'm really, really excited about it. Obviously it's not really the weather for it now, look how chunky it is. But it will be. I'm going to cut the fringe down a bit. I don't know how far, but I do want to do that. But yeah, it's done and it's for me. And Sarah has finished hers as well. So yeah, hers is very, very similar because we use the same yarn and some of the same ideas. I've got some sari silk in here that my friend gave me. It's just lovely. It's just really lovely. So I'm very, very happy with that. Weaving, right, stitching. So I showed you the piece I made with Anne Brooke at her workshop in her workshop. Workshop in her workshop. And it's on the wall now, so it's all finished. We were just starting the tags project, and I was just starting the last piece of my bobbin project. If these names don't mean anything to you, don't worry about it. They're not important. So this was the piece that I was just starting, and I have finished it. It's fairly understated compared to some of them, but that's obviously, you know, it's just the way it comes out. It's just the way I wanted it to be. So this piece is done. All of this that you'll have seen, Anne put hers on a bobbin. I don't know what I'm going to do with mine. I thought at one point I might hang it on the wall, but then I did something slightly unwise, which was I put something directional there. So if I hung it on the wall, it's not quite going to work, is it? But the other thing is, once all the COVID restrictions are dropped and the world has accepted, everybody's ready for sort of group work again. I'm hoping to do slow stitching in group work with mental health groups, women's groups, you know, that kind of thing. And that being the case, what I'm likely to want to do is to break this up into individual pieces, so that there are different examples. The thing with slow stitching is you need to have a good idea of what kind of thing you might do, and then your brain can run off and make up ideas of its own. But unless you have a starting point, it's really hard. And Anne always has a starting point, and then she always encourages you to go off in your own direction. But you need a starting point. So I thought that these might be good starting points. So if we're in a group of, say, 8 people, they can't all be waiting to have a chance to hold on to the piece. It'd be much easier if I cut them up, and they could just be spread out on the table, and people could pick them up and say, oh yeah, I like that one, or could try this, or that's given me an idea, or those colours look nice, or whatever. So I'm thinking it will probably get broken up, which is fine, but just for now it's easy to keep it together. So I don't know what its future is, but it's done. And the tags, there's 1 a week, and we have been pretty much keeping pace at 1 a week, although we're not doing them in the order that Anne's doing them by any means. So I'll show you the 4 that we've done so far. This is the one that you saw last time that I was in the middle of doing, because that's it finished. And as you can see, it's totally useless. There's no purpose to it, that's kind of the point. This one was about words, So I've used the LGBT phrase, love is love, on this little pinafore under, what do you call it, petticoat. This one was about circles and lace, and this is the most recent one, which was about rings. So I've got a new one of these coming today, a bigger one. So we're yeah, basically just doing one a week. The new one is come up is Pekingese stitch, and Andrea's already started and finished hers. I haven't started mine yet, so that's fairly typical. We keep our own pace. But yeah, it's just really small bite-sized things. My slow stitching mojo has gone on a short break. I don't know when it'll be back, but hopefully I will get started on that tag today, and that will kind of bring it back. But I'm going through a bit of a big change at the moment. My first daughter, as I said earlier on, is coming back from uni on Sunday, and she's back here for 6 to 8 weeks. Now, I actually live in her bedroom because of various situations I have to do with autism and chronic conditions. I can't sleep in the same bedroom as somebody else. I fidget, and I have biphasic sleep, and I have restless legs, and all kinds of things. So I sleep in her bedroom. So when she's back, I'm actually going to move in out here. So I've got a mattress here, which I'm going to put on top of the sofa every night, and I'm going to be sleeping out here, and I'm going to be doing my stitching out here and doing my work on the laptop out here as well. So that's all been moved out here. So I'm kind of going through this big process of change. So where everything is different. Slow stitching stuff has all been indoors in Lizzie's room, so it's now out here, so I'm going to have to try and settle into how all that's going to work. Right. So, what is new? I have got my monthly back club from Spin City, but it's a bit of a sad one because it's the last one for at least the summer, possibly ever. Louise, who is the amazingly talented designer who does these, is just getting her work-life balance a bit more sorted, so she's actually going to take some time off doing the bats, which I completely appreciate and respect. And it just means that the ones we've already got are that much more precious. So this one is based on the Tour de France, and here is the bat. Look at this. This is a bit of shredded fabric, upholstery fabric, I think. It's just amazing. It's yeah, I think the word I would use is garish for this. It's the most garish one we've had yet. I just love it, and I have no idea how it will come out in the spin, because how will those colours go together? Will I be able to spin them and keep them separate, or will they just merge into one big colour? It's going to be really interesting. But I've got probably 4 now, and that's all I'm going to get. So I'm going to very carefully think through what I want to do with them. But yeah, very excited about that. And then, do you watch Gemma B Makes? She has a podcast here on YouTube, and she is a lovely lady. She's a friend as well. Met her through the podcast, and she started making needle cases. And I really, really wanted one, so I was very lucky to manage to get one of the first ones. In fact, I managed to get the prototype, which is a bit exciting. So she has made some design changes since then, but this is, look at that fabric, it's just stunning. So she sent it to me. It opens up like this. There's a zip pocket at the back just for any general stuff. It's beautifully lined. And then in here, there's space for crochet hooks here, and there's space for knitting needles in here. This is for interchangeables, and then here you can put your, let me think, which is the place. This is the place where you put your oh here, yeah, this is the place where you put your cables, so it pops down there and they stay in. And then there's another couple of little pockets over here for putting the screws and the end bits, and then there's more in there and more in there, and it's called the prototype because the stitching isn't perfect. You wouldn't really notice it if you weren't looking for it, but yeah, it's the first one she ever made, which is quite an exciting thing to have actually. But she is selling them on her website. They're absolutely brilliant. So when she sent it over, she also sent over this cute little mini and some little stitch markers. So yeah, Gemma B makes, I'll put her book below. She just makes these amazing things. So yeah, I'm going to fill that up. Now I've shown it to you, I can fill it up with needles and have some fun with it. So those are my something news. Plans. The crochet project Summer Mystery Crochet Along is starting in 2 weeks. It's called Entwine. And from the tags on the project page, it looks like it's got either interlocking crochet or mosaic crochet or both. I'm really excited to see it, but all this at the moment is that you need to have 2 skeins of sock weight yarn in contrasting colours. So I have pulled out these lovely beauties. This one is Giddy Aunt Yarns. What did I use that for? What did I use that for? And this one is a present from Sarah, Countess Ablaze. Look at those colours. So I did the thing where you take a picture of the 2 yarns, then look at it in a black and white filter, and they stand out, they contrast really well. So they're going to be beautiful. So that starts 23rd, I think. So I'm really excited about that. But I'm not planning on starting any other new products till then, because when I finish the Lilla Bjorn, I'm going to probably pick up the sand art and work on that. Apart from when I'm out of the house, when it's the Latte, the vanilla Latte socks, I'm going to work on that in here because I just want to get these things finished. But on the subject of getting out of the house, I don't know where you are, but here in the UK, they have, Prime Minister has said that as of next Monday, there's no restrictions. You can come and go as you please, no masks, no whatevers. And I'm not ready for that. I'm double vaccinated. I'm not ready for that. So I'm not going out and about. I'm not going to be going any more places than I'm going now. And since there was a big football match on Sunday and the country seemed to lose its mind and there were huge crowds everywhere without masks, and I've decided for at least for the next week to stay in as much as I possibly can. So yeah, I won't be getting much done on the vanilla Latte socks, will I? So showing you my nails. The Birmingham trip was lovely. It was really good. We really enjoyed her university. It's going to be great living there. And so that's Birmingham, England, obviously. Not Birmingham, Alabama. I think there are lots of Birminghams in the US. Birmingham. This is Birmingham. And yeah, we had a really good time. Got a drink, a bit too much to drink. Quite a few cocktails in a gay bar. But it was fun. And has anybody noticed yet that I've changed my piercing? So when I saw you last, I had the Medusa, which is there, and I really didn't like it. And as I was I tend to, because it's a while between videos, I tend to watch my last video before I record again. And I saw it again, I thought, nope, don't like it. I hated it as soon as it was done. I loved it on my daughter. I'd wanted to do it for ages, and she said she wanted to do it too, so we did it at the same time. I loved it on her, and I still do, but I hated it on me. So after a week, I had that taken out and this done instead. And I like it much, much better. I really, really do. Yeah, so that's the one for me. And interesting, the other day, my hair is just out of control. I'm growing it and it's curly and it's a mess. But I happened to be wearing a face mask around my neck, and I just pushed it up onto my head to get it out of the way. And I thought, oh, that keeps my hair under control. So I've been doing that ever since. This is a face mask that Andrea made for me. It's in kind of knitted fabric. And I'm just wearing face masks as headbands now. It's just, who knew that would work? Right, okay, I'm rambling now. So, that's everything. Is anybody else doing the MCAL? I'm really excited to get it going. I've got to wind the yarn actually. So, yeah, it's all happening here. Eldest daughter coming home on Sunday, and then I'm seeing my brother on Saturday. He lives down in Cambridge, for the first time since obviously the since March last year, but we don't only see each other 3 or 4 times a year anyway, so it's been probably 2 years or more since I saw him and his family. So just the youngest and I are going down for a night down there, and then Day's going to pick Lizzie up, so she'll be home, and then mum-in-law's coming next week for a visit, and then in September, oh yeah, we're having our staycation. We're meant to be in France, but travelling into Europe at the moment with the amount of infections we've got in the UK is just not going to happen, so we've cancelled it again. But we're having a staycation, so we're going to do all things French. We're going to have home-baked croissant every day. Oh, we've got a new deck to sit on. We had a new deck put in last weekend. So we've got somewhere to sit outside now, so we'll sit outside probably in the rain eating croissant, freshly baked. And buy French bread and cheeses and speaking dodgy French accents, or French if we choose, and having days out and stuff. And then in September the eldest goes back to uni and the second one goes to uni, and everything gets quiet again. So yeah, that's what's happening here. So how are you? How's everything going for you? I hope you're well, and I wish you some happy crafting. Bye.